Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to Medical Globe e-learning. This is Hafsa Mubin from FMDC. We are doing Unit 11 of Physiology, which is about motor neurology, and this is chapter 58. This is about learning, memory, and cerebral cortex. First of all, table of specification. From this unit, there will be 2 SEQs and 12 MCQs in paper. Now coming towards specific topics. First of all, this paragraph is not important. You don't have to read this. Next is the physiological anatomy of the cerebral cortex. This topic has some potential MCQs like 3 types of neurons. This is important for MCQ. Then this is pyramidal and fusiform cells. This is also important for MCQ point. Next is this is also important for MCQ. This is also important for MCQ. Now the figures. These 2 figures are very important. You have to draw this in paper and you have to write a little bit detail about the functional areas of the human cerebral cortex. This topic is coming forward in detail, so we will see it. Now, anatomical and functional relations of the cerebral cortex to the thalamus and other lower centers. This topic is for your reading. You have to make your concepts from this topic. Next is the functions of the specific cortical area. This topic is very important but this passage you just have to read this for your concepts. Now from here there are the functions, specific sensory functions, and this diagram is related with this association areas, and association areas are very important for your SEQs. This parieto-occipitotemporal association area, its definition and its function, spatial coordinates of the body. This is very important as a SEQ. This is again important, the functional area of the cerebral cortex. It is again showing all the functional areas, and it is important as a SEQ, and it is also passed to UQ. So you have to draw this diagram in paper. Then there are detail of other functional areas of the cerebral cortex like vernix area, the angular gyrus, then the area for the naming objects. These are all very important. Next is the prefrontal association area. It is also important for your SEQ. Next is the limbic association area. It can also be your SEQ. The area of recognition of face. This is also important for your MCQ. This is again the organization of the somatic, auditory, and visual association areas. So you have to do all the different areas of the cerebral cortex and small details related with that topic. You have to draw this, you have to name the areas and add some details about the specific areas. I guess this is all clear. Next is the concept of the dominant hemisphere. You should know what is dominant hemisphere, and this is important for your MCQ. Then this topic is just for your concepts. You have to read this whole, the role of language in the vernix area. So this is also just for your concepts. Next is functions of the parieto-occipital temporal cortex in non-dominant hemisphere. So what is the function of the non-dominant hemisphere? This is also important for your MCQs. Next is the higher intellectual functions of prefrontal association area. This is again for your understanding. You just have to read this thoroughly for your concepts. So next is the concept of the working memory. What is working memory? You have to understand this for your MCQs. Now is the functions of the brain in communication. This is very important for your SEQ. This is very important topic. You have to do this from this blue box. What is the different types of aphasia? Vernix aphasia, global aphasia, how they are different. Then is the motor aphasia, the loss of Broca's area. This is also important, and these are the diagrams associated with this question. So it is important for your SEQ. The articulation is not important. Next is the function of the corpus callosum and anterior commissure. This is just for your concepts. You have to read this whole topic. This whole page is just for your reading and understanding. You don't have to memorize anything except for this thought, the definition of thought, and this is the holistic theory of the thoughts. This is important for your MCQs. Next is SEQ. This is very important question, the role of synaptic facilitation and synaptic inhibition in the formation of memory. So you have to do this topic. Next is the classification of memories. This is also important as SEQ. You have to do two types of classification. This is based on type of information that is stored, and this is related with the duration for which the memory is made. So you have to know the classifications of memory, SEQ, regarding short-term memory, intermediate-term memory, and long-term memory. You have to write small details about these three types of memories. This is intermediate long-term memory. Then from intermediate long-term memory, the molecular mechanism is also another SEQ. You have to know the mechanism of habituation and mechanism of facilitation. This is important for your SEQ, and it also has some important points for MCQs. This diagram is with this mechanism of facilitation, so you have to do this from this diagram. Now is next topic, long-term memory. Long-term memory is also important for your SEQ, and the structural changes that occur in the synapse during development of long-term memory. These are three changes. These 3 points are important for your SEQ. Next is consolidation of memory, is also important topic. You have to know this for SEQ. Next, this page from here up till here is just for your reading, for understanding. And then the last topic is the types of amnesia. It is important SEQ, and it is a past UQ, so you have to do it from here. What are the types of amnesia? One is anterograde amnesia and other is retrograde amnesia. So you have to do this from this chapter. That's all about this chapter. For more details and practice, do consult Medical Globe MCQ Crack series. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.
Medical Globe introduces its series of successful publications, MBBS Cracks, the benchmark of all, containing all the chapter-wise questions of prime importance, all annual and supply solved university questions to ace your vivas, chapter polls, and of course, we have incorporated all the labeled and histologic and anatomic models in high resolution for your distinction level OSCE preparations. Medical Globe has also launched a gem in the medical world to master every concept for your multiple choice questions, the MCQ Cracks, encompassing UHS, NAMS, and many others, revealing the UHS MCQ rank, your practice MCQs, and topic-wise MCQs. Get your MCQ and the MBBS Cracks at your doorstep by placing your order at 0335 66 33007.